Paris, you put that on your head, you'd be in the height of fashion.
I dream of seeing Paris. Oh, Mr. Jackson, you live such an interesting life.
Sometimes it's a little lonely.
Not for you, I'm sure.
Good night.
Good night.
Now, friends, if you'll please be seated, we'll begin with the report.
While we wait for the results of the tally from Mrs. Stuckey and Mr. Gebhardt, let me read to you, chairman and chairladies of the charity committees, the final tally of our fundraising activities for this fiscal year. Cookies and candies sold for vitamins to Hong Kong, $320. And I think we can afford a special vote of thanks to Mr. Fred Stuckey, who has arranged to purchase these vitamins wholesale through the studio where he's employed. And now, the big news, the report we've all been waiting for. Net income from Las Vegas night, $4,571.84. And congratulations to all who gave so generously of themselves to build this charity fund.
It's my wife. She has a bad heart. Move away from that money.
She has a bad heart?
You want me to blow her head off?
No.
Mildred! Mildred! Stay there. Oh. Oh. Do what I say. You're witnesses. All witnesses. She just laid down and she died.
Description of this man you saw running?
Well, he was a man about medium size, and that's all.
That's all? That's not enough?
It's enough for me.
Ed, got a minute?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. You can join the others.
The Wilkins case, they found him in El Paso. Bone just sent word.
And I'm elected.
Well, I want you to go and pick him up.
He doesn't know that you can't get along without me?
I got Hogan. He needs the experience. Oh, you might need these.
Find any prints yet? Nothing so far. Well, he didn't drop from there. See, the prints would be much closer in. Oh, he jumped? Yeah. Maybe these aren't his footprints at all. The only way you could get back to that recreation hall without being seen, either through that window or this door. And this door was locked.
Well, thank you, Reverend. Of course. Let's see. Mr. Gebhardt says the man was fat. Reverend Wallace says not fat at all. As for his voice, apparently it was simultaneously deep, nasal, and a hoarse whisper. And Mrs. Keller is willing to swear the bandit was a woman.
That's right. Are you criticizing us? Do you think it's
Odd that the average citizen isn't able to be trained like a policeman. Well, I happen to be trained, mister. I happen to be a sound engineer. You just do your job. You bring in that rotten killer, and I'll identify his voice. You leave that part of it to me.
Found this under a bush. Is this it?
Yes, I think it is. You know, there was something about his eyes.
You saw the color?
Well, I'm sorry, no, but something else. They were unusually shiny, glittering.
How about the color, Reverend? You were close to him.
Thank you, Reverend. Well, unless any of you has something to add, that'll be enough for tonight. Thank you.
What do I do now? Go home to an empty room?
Mr. Stuckey, would you mind waiting in my office for me, please?
Reverend, thank you, but what's the use? She's dead.
Oh, Reverend. You say there were a great many strangers here tonight. Many new faces you didn't recognize?
Strangers. Others who drop in from time to time at affairs like these. It was a very busy evening. Very many quick impressions.
But was there anyone missing who should have been present?
Do you mind if I doubt that one of my own parishioners would rob his own church?
Well, sir, in the past 5 years, church attendance has grown 15%. Crime in the same amount of time has gone up 36.
Well,
do you think that any of these criminals are churchgoers?
of course.
Well, then it follows that felonies are sometimes committed by churchgoers.
I must think of the morality in this. What is my position in relation to...
Reverend, a woman is dead who should be alive. Now, what's the morality in that?
Mr. Paul Ambrose was the only one absent tonight. But please realize, that can mean absolutely nothing. He worked very hard to make this evening a success. He's an excellent organizer. Now you must excuse me. I mustn't let Mr. Stuckey go home without my talking to him.
Gives the congregation an idea how to raise money, helps organize it, waits till the loot's in the hat, picks it up and walks away.
Down, boy. Easy.
Oh, come on, it's a good theory.
Officer! Officer! My coat, my fur coat is gone. My beaver, I've looked everywhere for it. It's gone.
This was a real swinging party.
This is a picture of the eye holes of the paper sack worn by the bandit. You'll notice that it's cut by the blade of a knife, small knife, penknife, right across the middle. First with a straight slit and then several sawing motions in a circle. Now these holes were cut by scissors right here in the lab, which I think demonstrates that the bandit used a knife and not scissors.
Meaning what?
Meaning that if he was away from where he lived, why not a knife? But if he was home, the natural tool would be a scissor. Any kind, large or small, doesn't matter. Does it tell you anything?
No scissors? Place without a woman.
It's wild and unscientific, maybe, but gives you something to think about.
Think about this. There must be 100,000 bachelors in this area that carry penknives. What'd you find here?
Over there, it's 8.5B. New shoes with leather heels. He weighs in the neighborhood of 150, 160 pounds, and he's probably as agile as a mountain goat. You know that he landed neatly on the balls of his feet, gentlemen? And that's pretty neat jumping.
What about this man Ambrose?
Well, he's lived alone for the last 12 years at the Sierra Hotel. He's regular, dependable, good credit.
I'm very impressed. Why wasn't he at the church wingding?
I don't know. I didn't see him. Now, he's out for the evening. Delaney's waiting for him in the lobby.
Anybody get a chance to look at his room?
No reason, no warrant.
Now, gentlemen, somebody robbed the poor box of one of our churches. As a result, a citizen, a lady with a cardiac condition, did languish and did die. Now, you brave boys have been around long enough to know that the DA's office will be just itching to bring this one into court.
He will.
Believe me, he will.
Mr. Paul Ambrose is not yet home.
Maybe he ate here and he's now in surgery.
Your old man should have been a harness cop like mine. You, too, would have inherited a cast-iron stomach.
My old man taught philosophy. Sometimes in the woodshed. That's where he was most fond of saying that our mistakes came from being over-anxious. Whack. Or over-eager. Whack.
This is your way of telling me you don't go for my theory about Ambrose, right?
Well, theories have to square with the facts. Like I've just been theorizing about the dead woman's husband. Just to cover every angle.
He was there, Nick. Under the gun, under 20 witnesses.
That's exactly what I mean. Check, please.
That's all right, boys. On the house.
Check.
What's going on? The Claw is talking to a couple of detectives.
I spent the entire evening standing in a greasy garage, waiting for them to repair something. Is there a thing called the master cylinder? I know nothing at all about automobiles.
What was the name of this garage, Mr. Ambrose?
Really, I didn't notice.
Did you pay by check?
No, by cash.
And then you went home?
Yes. Excuse me. Please, Miss Smith. Gently. Gently.
Yes, Mr. Ambrose.
Don't be fresh with me.
Yes, sir.
You'll have to excuse me now. The store is due to open in less than 2 minutes.
You say you then went home.
Yes. No use going on to the church. Much too late.
What time did you pull in at the hotel?
I don't know. 9, 10 o'clock. You're treating me as though I were a suspect. Isn't that a little dangerous, considering that there are lawsuits for false arrest?
Mr. Ambrose, we know you returned to your hotel at 6 a.m. You showered, changed, went to Nicky's barber shop for a massage and a shave. You then grabbed a cup of coffee at the super drugstore. We're here in time to open up at 7:55. Right? I think you better get someone to replace you on the floor.
Gotcha!
You almost didn't find me, Gramps.
Eddie boy, never try to hide from an old Secret Service man. We'll track you down every time.
Told me you were a submarine commander.
Huh? Oh, well, I was, but that was during the war. The Secret Service came after that.
That box you left at the house, I bet it's full of secret documents.
That box? No, Eddie, that's a fur coat for your mama. She's going to look beautiful in it. Well, where we go today? To the zoo? The planetarium?
Let's go to the zoo, Gramps. Will you buy me some popcorn?
Well, maybe we can buy one bag. What? What do we got here?
Gee, I almost forgot. Mom told me to give this to you.
Well, what do you know? We're going to have all the popcorn we can carry. And hot dogs and ice cream and peanuts.
That's wonderful, Gramps.
Eddie boy, you have the most wonderful mother in the whole world. There's the bus. Let's go.
Will we see lions and tigers and elephants?
Well, Mr. Grizzly Bear.
You're all lunatics, of course. I hope you know that. I've lived in this community for 18 years. Worked for the same company for 12.
You still maintain that you'd find a garage to fix your car?
Yes. I'll remember where it is.
That call was from our own mechanics. They claim no new work was done on your car. That master cylinder is old but sound.
Whoever said that's a fool. Are you going to take a fool's word instead of mine?
Where were you last night, Mr. Ambrose?
Mr. Ambrose, when a death occurs in the course of an armed robbery, the charge is first-degree murder. Now, that's what you face unless you can establish an alibi.
Boone?
Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, call the DA's office. Tell Mr. Miller the autopsy report is on the way over. Shows just that the victim did have a bad cardiac condition.
Poor Mrs. Stukey. Poor woman.
Why didn't you tell us you were in jail last night? He's out on bail. Made advances to a policewoman at Sunset and Vine. The time that bandit was cleaning out the poor box, this joker was being booked.
Broker! Broker George! Let me give you a lift.
Where'd you get enough to hire a hack?
Would you believe me?
No, you're a liar. Where you going?
Nowhere. Been to a church social. Now I'm just riding around.
Riding around. Why don't you just put butter on the dough and eat it?
Come on, get in.
All right, where did you get it?
Like I say, I had a 3-horse parlay at Santa Anita.
How did you ever hit a 3-horse parlay? I never did. Oh, why don't you never stop lying? Like that medal. Everybody knows you boosted that medal or bought it in a hock shop. Why'd you just say so, like a man?
You've got a bad liver, broker. Do you know what a lady friend once told me?
Oh, now he's gonna bend my ear about his lady friends. Well, those overaged battle wagons he picks up at all the churches.
What do you mean, pick up? They're respectable, lonesome. So once in a while, they do me little favors, like slip me a little present, try to make me think I ought to get married again. I feel good, they feel good. What's the harm?
Say, you get around to practically all the churches, don't you?
Just the ones who have socials.
You hear about what happened to one of them? A heist.
Yes. Terrible thing, robbing a church.
How'd you hear about it?
Like you. Somebody mentioned it.
Uh-huh.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Amen. God bless you, Fred. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, Reverend.
You gentlemen are everywhere, aren't you?
It's all part of the routine. Reverend, who was that attractive young lady with the sunglasses?
Which one?
The one with Mr. Stookie.
Oh, that was Mrs. Case. She's an old family friend. Next door neighbor. I believe she's an actress.
Oh? Member of your church?
No. Oh, by the way, I have some news. Mrs. Keller's fur coat was returned.
When did that happen?
About 2 hours ago. The front doorbell rang at the rectory. And when Mrs. Mahler went to answer it, there was the coat lying on the front step.
Just like that? No one there?
No, but she did see a small truck drive away.
A truck?
Yes, a tow truck, the kind that garages use.
Did she see any name on it?
No, she couldn't. It was a peculiar angle. But she did get a look at the license plate. Unfortunately, she doesn't remember it all.
Well, how much does she remember?
She remembers the numerals 2, 4, 7, 6, and the letter F.
2, 4, 7, 6, and the letter F. Well, that should help. Thank you, Reverend. And thank Mrs. Mahler.
Of course.
Bye, Reverend. Ed, you know we got thieves in this office?
Thieves? Now, is that nice?
I left 2 packs of cigarettes in that drawer.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Kirby borrowed them when he took off for El Paso.
Borrowed them. The 3rd pack he's borrowed this week.
Here, try one of these.
Thank you.
Oh, don't get up, Sergeant. I was told I'd find you here. I'm Mrs. Kenny Case. You took some pictures of me this morning.
Did I?
I'm curious. Why?
Just routine, Mrs. Case.
I know you're wondering about my friendship with Fred Stuckey.
Am I?
Well, you weren't taking those pictures for your family album. Now, what do you want to know about me?
Well, how long have you known the Stuckeys?
Well, I've been their next-door neighbor about 3 years now. My husband died in January. They were just wonderful to me. Now, I'd like to repay that.
Yes. I'm sure he misses his wife very much.
He does. Terribly. And if I can help him now in his hour of sadness, I certainly want to. I know what it is to be lonely.
I'm sure you do, Mrs. Case. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Sergeant. Oh, if you want any more pictures, I've got dozens of them in all sorts of poses. I'm an actress, you know.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Case. Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, what do we do for action?
Lieutenant, there's no one left.
Sure there is. Who? The man who committed the crime? You know what your old man would do now?
Yeah, he'd start all over again.
Without any gloves on. He'd be mad. He'd kick over every garbage pail in town. He'd pull the stuff apart until he hauled that hoodlum out. Phone. Okay, let's have it. Harold Wagner, 2 G's. License number VCF 2476. Okay, thanks. Motor Vehicle Bureau says this is the citizen who returned that fur coat.
VC 72476. We'll check it out.
Lieutenant, there's no one left.
I'd like to speak to you a minute. Look, I just want to show you my heart's in the right place. I want to do you a favor, in case I ever need a friend.
You smell something peculiar?
Yes, I do. Come on.
Ah, look, fellas. There's this moocher who's suddenly spreading dough around like he prints it in his cellar.
Roca, we're not buying.
You don't care about a moocher who knows the inside of more churches than the Plasterers Union?
What's the matter? You got something?
Listen, I'll call you later.
Ah, Jim, now you must be kidding.
Come on, you go check Wagner, huh?
Look, I told you, I found it in the men's washroom. That's all there is to it.
How'd you know where to return it?
It's in all the papers. Story about the woman being killed and the holdup at the church and the fur coat.
Why didn't you notify the police?
Because I didn't want this to happen to me. What's happening right now?
So you just dropped that valuable fur coat, you rang the doorbell, drove away.
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't valuable to me. I didn't own it.
Well, didn't you think there might be a reward?
Maybe. So I called myself a dope. I laughed it off.
Wagner? That's with 2 G's.
Yeah, 2 G's.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wagner. You've been very cooperative. If we have any more questions, we'll know where to find you.
men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum.
Want to hear a story about pirates, Eddie? So many years ago, your grandfather was cast away on Madagascar. Had to fight Hannibal.
Why not?
I know you. I've seen you driving around.
I know you, Nancy. I just checked your record. 19 arrests in the last 10 years. 12 convictions. Everything from vagrancy to soliciting funds without a license. Bunco, shoplifting. 7 counts of petty larceny. And no wonder you have so much money to spread around.
Well, you had a 3-horse pile at Santa Anita.
You're lucky. Okay, Yancy. Come on. Sit down over here. And stay put. Where were you Friday night?
Friday? Why?
Just for the record, did you go to another church supper?
No.
Where were you then?
Well, I was right here.
The manager says you went out.
Oh, that guy, he's a liar. He'd tell you anything he thinks you want.
You collect these?
Well, like anybody else, throw stuff away.
I guess you know the inside of more churches than practically anybody, don't you, Nancy?
Is there suddenly a law against going to church?
I hope not.
So I make it to these blowouts and pay my buck, $1.50 like anybody else. Who's counting if I slip a roll or two in a paper sack and take it home for breakfast? You know why I do it? Because that money goes to charity.
It was charity money that was heisted Friday night, and a first-degree murder rap went with it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Lie detector test.
Well, there's the same trademark on the bandit's mask and some of the sacks in his closet. There's a penknife that might have made those eye holes. And a junk store pistol. Serial numbers are filed off. And there's evidence of the original barrel being replaced. Yeah, it all fits.
Thanks, Doc.
We're not going to accuse him on his record, are we?
Nick, the character comes through your window carrying a set of lockpicks. You don't need a jury to tell you he's a burglar, right?
How'd he get up to that window?
You don't have to be an acrobat to get through a window.
Jim, this man could not have committed an armed robbery. I'm convinced of it.
Now, what about the gun?
Well, he lives alone in a rough world.
He knows how to use it. Pentagon says that medal was really earned.
It's his asking for the polygraph test that bothers me. Now, would a guilty man ask for something that might get him in the gas chamber?
Let's try the next step. You're a male Caucasian?
That's right.
Have you submitted to this test before?
No.
Positive?
Absolutely.
Are you telling me the truth?
Why not?
Just turn around and answer yes or no.
Yes.
How long have you had cardiac trouble?
Who, me?
Yes, you, smart guy.
You didn't know you had heart trouble, did you? You didn't know the lie detector wouldn't work on you.
Listen, I wasn't there Friday night.
No, Nancy. It just takes one lie to turn us against you.
Look, Nancy, it'll be a lot easier on you if you give a straight answer.
I want to talk with the public defender.
Public defender? What's the matter? You spent all the money already?
I never had it.
You took that money at the point of a gun and a woman died.
Okay. Friday night, I was with my daughter.
You have a family here?
Her and her husband. And Eddie. Eddie's only 6. Smart. He thinks I'm the greatest. That's where I go every Friday night. Like religion.
Okay, Nancy, what's her name? Now, come on, Nancy, you're doing fine.
Rhoda Wagner.
Wagner. That 2 G's or 1?
2.
Eddie, be careful. My father's a liar. He can't help it. Some people are happy, some are sad, some tell lies. He tells wonderful ones. They don't harm anyone but himself.
He does come here every Friday, and I can't wait for him to get out.
Last Friday, too?
Every Friday. He has supper with us, and then he gets what to him is the door prize. He puts Eddie to bed.
And he fills the kid's head with a bunch of lies about himself.
Would you rather Eddie know him as Nancy Jackson, habitual offender, 19 arrests?
And I remember every one of them, Rhoda, because I paid, and I don't pay anymore.
I think we will.
And I say we don't. We can't. Your father, he's breaking my back.
I'm sorry. What is it I can do for you? If it's anything against my father, I can't help you.
These Friday evenings, what time does he usually leave?
Not early. Not late.
Do you remember what time last Friday?
No. Hal, he's a baby. As much a baby as Eddie is.
Look, if he's innocent, we can't hurt him. If he's not, I don't want Eddie spending every Friday night with a thief, a killer.
He's my father.
And you're my wife. I don't want you to get arrested on his account. Not if I can help it. He wasn't here.
Eddie! Come in the house.
You want to tell us about that fur coat now?
She doesn't know about that yet. He showed it to me first. He told me he was going to give it to her as a present. My crummy father-in-law. I made him tell me where he stole it, and I took it back. What does that make me?
Well, for the time being, take it easy. All right. We placed him at the scene of the crime. The witnesses did that already. The coat's only a clincher. Does that mean he came back wearing a mask?
What about all the money he's been spending?
Jim, I want more proof, that's all. Then Jim buys a tip from this broker, George. We start going down the line, ignoring any other suspect.
Not true.
Concentrating on this one. It's like statistics when you're determined to make them prove something. Now, let me repeat. I don't say he's innocent. I just don't feel he's guilty.
Well, I feel that he's guilty. What about the evidence?
Simmer down. What do you want from Jackson? A confession? He's a pro. He won't talk.
I want something that gives him away. Anything.
DA won't mind one bit.
He tried to escape on me. How about that?
Any two-bit attorney can prove he had the fur coat on his mind.
Nick, if he tries to escape again, will you quit arguing?
Set it up.
Take the shells out of your gun. Let him get close.
Again. Oh, gentlemen. Don't lose him.
How do we think, Ansi? We think you couldn't possibly have spent all that money in just a few days. We think it's still stashed around here somewhere, even where the lab can't find it. So we're going to have another look around. And we're going to question you.
You wouldn't. You don't go for the rough stuff.
You know, you have a very nice daughter, Ansi. She lied for you. Her husband wouldn't, though.
I guess you can only hypnotize the ladies, Ansi.
Fellas, why couldn't I just sit down here? And you walk out like all you did was come in and borrow a razor blade. When you come right down to it, you don't make any profit out of breaking a man's bubble.
And it breaks, Ansi, you did it. Ansi, you gonna dig that stuff out for us?
Even if it's not here,
It's here.
No matter what I say, I'm a liar.
You're the jug that's been too often to the well, Ansi. You built what's happening to you. Built it yourself all your life. Now you're on a ledge and there's no place to fall but off.
Ansi, for that nice little grandson. Nick! Okay.
All right, let's go.
Everybody rise.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Will the defendant please rise and face the jury?
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree.
Congratulations. This isn't the end yet, Mrs. Brown. It's not over.
Ready, Mrs. White. Room number 3.
Hello, Rhoda.
Hello, Pop. Do you need anything?
No, I'm fine. Does Eddie know? What does he say about me?
Oh, Pop, he's only 6. Are they trying to make you sign anything?
Think I can't take care of myself? Think your worthless old father been in jail all those times, don't know how to take care of himself?
That's exactly what I think, or you wouldn't be in jail now. And if it costs me my home and my marriage and my sanity, I'm going to get you out. But believe me, never again. Pop, you're not listening to me.
John Egan, the big lawyer. You want to hear something, Rhoda? You know, several years ago, he needed somebody to talk to. You know me, I could have been a lawyer myself. When we went out on this bench, Pershing Square, he started to tell me about this big case he's handling.
I don't know what's the matter with you, Pop. I don't know. I think it's some kind of sickness.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Up in San Quentin, they've got a quick cure.
Goodbye, Pop. Mr. Egan? You are John Egan, aren't you? Or was that just another one of his stories?
I'm John Egan. This is my associate, Mr. Elliott. How do you do?
Hello. I'm Mrs. Wagner. I read an article about you. It said you would always try to defend a man who might be executed.
Didn't we just see you inside?
Yes. I was talking with my father. The man they're calling the Poor Box Bandit. I was wondering if you could help us.
I know the case, ma'am. I'm afraid I wouldn't be of much help.
But you're John Egan.
An attorney. Just a lawyer, ma'am.
You won't even try?
The public defender's office has some of the finest attorneys in this business.
He tells my father to plead guilty. We don't want to plead guilty. He isn't. You know, I think it's a shame the way you lawyers publicize yourself until people think you're knights in shining armor, and all the while there isn't anything inside the armor. But nobody.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Wagner, but I've told you how it is. Good day, ma'am.
Look, Mrs. Wagner, he's really the most decent guy in the whole world. Well, it's just that if an attorney were to accept every case, I understand how it is with people in trouble. I'm sorry.
Rhoda.
Don't you talk to me. I've got nothing to say to you.
Rhoda, listen. You're my wife. We got a kid. Now, what about Eddie?
My father is sick. He's a baby. And anyone who won't help him
Is what, Rhoda?
Oh, just leave me alone.
Hey, John, look at this. I think I've got an angle for Mrs. Brown's appeal. You remember that case in Sacramento, the People versus Danielson? I've been going over the depositions on that little gem, and I think there's a direct parallel.
Mitch, some old guy is being held for murder in connection with the robbery of a church. Did you hear about it?
Yeah, what's his name? Bugsy?
Bugsy, Hancy Jackson. I want you to go down and talk to him.
What for?
For the sake of my public image.
Your what?
Well, I've been told it's a little out of focus.
Something's out of focus, John. Look, the last thing you need right now is another client, especially one like you.
Like what? That's what's bothering me, Mitch. What kind of a man would rob a church and commit a murder there? I want you to have a talk with him. Find out what drove him to it. See if he's a 100% villain.
John, I'm up to my earlobes with this Brown case.
You can get back to the Brown case after you talk to Jackson.
Well, why can't Taft do it?
He can. But you can handle this one better, Mitchell, my boy. It's that honest face of yours. It can win the heart and confidence of the most hardened criminal.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing so well with you.
Oh, sweetheart, make a luncheon date at Shakespeare's for Mitch, Taft, and myself.
Not hungry.
Correction, Taft and myself. Well, will you talk to Ansi?
Do I have a choice?
No.
I would love to talk to Ansi.
Thanks, Mitch. I'll bring you back a salami sandwich.
On rye.
On rye.
Counselor? What'll it be, Mr. Egan?
Scotch and water.
Milk. Don't stick your jaw out at me when they come up snake eyes. Milk.
Told you, huh?
Like in vaudeville. You go out every night to give them a laugh, you break a leg. Nobody cares. Lay one egg. They give you the knife before you can cackle. Jack, I'll have your table ready in a minute.
Bill, Scotch.
Oh, Mr. Miller. Jake? That's fine. I've got your table ready.
Wonderful. Has John Egan come in yet?
Oh, yes, he's right down at the end of the bar.
Two scotch and soda, please, and freshen up these drinks, please. Well, come on now, Mr. Egan. I take it better than that when you beat me.
I beat you, nobody dies.
She was guilty.
You know, Jerry, last night I had a nightmare. Let me tell you about it. Seems all the appeals had failed, the cyanide pellets had been dropped, and Mrs. Brown was now, in a more reasonable world. And what do you know? Who should come back to the streets of our fair city but that same son-in-law? Alive, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed. No more amnesia. But because the state still demands an eye for an eye, Mrs. Brown wasn't there to bake him a cake.
Oh, that's very touching. I don't have nightmares, do you?
As for you, Mr. Pine, I don't like you. You enjoy your work.
Well, I don't like you either, Counselor.
Barry?
The police risk their lives to bring criminals in, and you defense lawyers twist and distort all fact and law to break them loose. Big crusaders, knights in shining armor, shouting about the rights of murderers. Well, what about the rights of the community?
Carries a rope in place of a law book. No, he merely thinks the courts exist just to punish, while we hold the quaint notion they ought to protect. And for reminding me of that, Mr. Pine, thanks. Jerry, this Hansie Jackson, the poor box bandit.
Yeah, what about him?
His daughter has just retained me as counsel.
When? I understood the public defender was...
That was before Mr. Pine aired his remarkable views.
Well, the case has been assigned to me. What do you want to know?
Oh? You're going to prosecute?
What do you want to know about Jackson?
I want to examine the evidence, Mr. Pine. The law of discovery gives that right to knights in shining armor.
Don't inform me about the law, Mr. Egan. We hold opinions that are too far apart. You can examine a file on Jackson whenever you want. But don't think it's going to make him any better off than the proverbial snowball.
How do you know what hell is like? See you in court.
My pleasure.
From the sidelines, Barry, I've just altered your schedule.
Hey, pal, don't you ever read the papers? You can't take on that cold turkey.
Why not?
On what grounds?
Temporary insanity.
Hansie Jackson?
Me.
Yeah, it's not milk.
You intimating that I can't stand up to that night school wonder in a courtroom?
Oh, now, Barry, watch it, please.
Do I keep the Jackson case on my schedule, or do I start sending unhappy memos upstairs?
Okay. Fine. Word of advice?
I know, he's tricky.
Oh, no. No, I just want to remind you that the district attorney's office doesn't exist for the purpose of advancing political ambitions by feeding the gas chamber.
Why should John Egan be interested in me? What's he figured to get out of it?
Well, Mr. Egan's a soft touch for anyone in trouble. Anyone who looks as if he's headed for death row.
I don't know whether I care to make a change. Ought to have time to think it over.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think about that record of yours. 19 arrests, 12 convictions. Vagrancy, panhandling, gambling, shoplifting, petty embezzlement, petty bunco, petty everything. And then you think of the prosecutor describing to the jury how you walked into that church one evening during a committee meeting wearing a paper bag.
I never did it! Nothing going to happen to me. A war hero, military medal. They never execute a war hero.
War hero? War hero? You sure you talked to Nancy Jackson?
He's a 60-year-old infant, John. His lies are more real to him than his own life.
In other words, he needs help, huh?
Yeah, he needs help from a psychiatrist.
Well, a psychiatrist won't do him much good in the gas chamber.
And I'm not doing Mrs. Brown much good.
All right, but you get back to Mrs. Brown Taft, and I'll take care of Nancy Jackson.
Hey, where's my sandwich?
Oh, they didn't have salami. I brought you bologna. On white.
Thanks a lot, pal.
Whole outfit used to pick on me. Practical jokes, all kinds of stunts, dangerous. So this Corporal Haggard, he used to kind of protect me. You should have seen him. Jaw like a cobblestone, shoulders nice. Dumb, sad, nice guy. Without him, I couldn't have stood it. Had to desert. I used to worry. What am I going to do if something happens to Haggard?
That's the man whose life you saved.
Yeah? Oh, I didn't even know it. Well, they told me later on. All I remember was seeing him lying there in the mud. I'm screaming and crying and carrying on. Haggerty, Haggerty! I'm looking at the blood on him. Do you know what I'm seeing? The practical jokes, the stunts, the tricks they played on me. I guess I must have gone half nuts. Next thing I knew, they were saying they were going to give me a medal for bringing him in. And I did. I dragged him in. Me.
War hero. Look, Mr. Jackson, you're not a juvenile and you're not an amateur. You know how it shapes up. If we plead innocent and you're convicted, you'll be executed. If, on the other hand, I could persuade the prosecution to accept a plea of manslaughter and you're convicted, you'll end up with a prison term. That's the whole package.
Well, no, that's the same spiel I get from the public defender. I thought you were going to try to get me off.
I'm going to try to keep you from the gas chamber, Mr. Jackson. That's all. Bailiff, this is a series of photographs taken of Mrs. Stuckey's funeral. That's Reverend Mala. He conducted the funeral service. He also stood closest to the bandit. That's Mr. Fred Stuckey, husband of the deceased. He's a sound engineer at Liberty Studios. Who's the fellow beside him? Also one of the men who was held up. Name is Gebhardt. And the blonde behind him with the glasses? Mrs. Case, next door neighbor. Also a witness? No. You fellas really believe that old Nancy Jackson could have made it up to that window?
Could have. Could have had an accomplice.
Could have. Is he being tried for his life on could have? Mr. Stuckey again. This blonde neighbor, what about her husband? Was he at the church? No husband, killed in a car accident. You check her out? Double checked. I had a feeling about it. And? Blind alley. Anyway, we were looking for a man.
And we found him. Let's stick to that. I had to just stand there when he pulled back on her poor head. He stuck that gun under her chin. I said to him, that is my wife. She has a bad heart.
Oh, please go on, Mr. Stuckey. Just tell it in your own words.
But he wouldn't listen, or he didn't care. She had a bad heart, but he didn't care.
Objection. It hasn't been established that my client, Mr. Jackson, knew the deceased had a bad heart, or that he knew the deceased at all, or that he was there at all.
He was there.
Objection.
Your witness, Mr. Egan.
Thank you, Mr. Pine. You're very fast on your feet. Mr. Stuckey, on your very positive assertion that my client was there, meaning at the time of the holdup, was that a private opinion or a statement of fact?
Call it my private opinion.
A right to which you are fully entitled. As a matter of fact, a sacred right granted to all of us by the Constitution and preserved for all of us on the battlefield by men like my client. Thank you, sir. That's all.
She had a narrowing of the coronary arteries. Under the influence of shock, these arteries go into spasm, thereby further depriving the heart of blood. Now, this produces what we call a ventricular standstill, a stoppage of the heart.
Now, doctor, in your opinion, if Mrs. Stuckey had not been frightened by that bandit, would she be still alive today?
No, that would only be a guess.
But an educated guess.
Well, then yes. I think the fright killed her.
Thank you, doctor. Your witness.
No questions.
The state calls Mrs. Nettie Swink. And you are the chair lady of the food committee.
Well, they call me the kitchen colonel.
Now then, Mrs. Swink, have you ever seen the defendant before? I mean, before this terrible crime was committed and his picture was in all the papers.
Yes, several times.
Where?
Well, at the church supper. He told me he was a stockbroker.
He told me he was a civil engineer.
I think it was at the last church supper. He told me he did special work for the FBI.
If it please the court.
Mr. Egan.
Your Honor, 15 witnesses from 10 churches have shown us that Mr. Jackson has discovered a method of eating the best food in Los Angeles for the least cost, that he keeps a schedule of picnics, bazaars, church suppers, that for $1 to $1.50 he feeds like a hippopotamus. But what does the state hope to prove by drumming this into our ears?
The state hopes to prove that the defendant is known in virtually every church which offers fundraising suppers, that he is a liar, a vicious, scheming Lothario.
Now, Sergeant Hogan, when you went to my client's place of residence to question him, did you have a warrant for his arrest?
I did not.
But you had already decided to arrest him.
Objection.
Sustained. I beg the court's pardon. Had you decided to arrest him?
I hadn't even talked to him.
But that's all you wanted to do at that moment. Not necessarily arrest him, just walk in and talk to him.
Yes.
So you walked in?
First I knocked.
First you knocked, and second you walked in.
That's right.
Well, at last we're inside. What then? Did he greet you? Was he coming toward the door?
No.
Well, that's strange. My client is known as a very gregarious man. He seems to enjoy company.
He didn't hear me knock.
He didn't hear you knock, so the police just simply barged in.
I didn't barge in, I walked in.
Semantics, Sergeant. You entered the premises.
Yes.
Without a warrant.
That's right.
To interrogate my client, whose name had been given to you by an informer.
But there were other circumstances.
A reliable informer? A reliable informer, Sergeant, is one who has informed successfully before. That is, information he has given has led to the securing of a conviction.
I think you could call this joker reliable.
What was his name? Sergeant Hogan.
Do I have to answer that, Your Honor?
Sergeant, if the police enter a man's castle upon information supplied by an informer, they must name him. And by your own testimony, you did enter.
Your Honor, to name an informer undermines law enforcement, possibly endangers a man's life.
My client's life is in danger, Mr. Pine.
Sergeant, what was the informer's name?
George Albertson.
Broker George?
Broker George.
Broker George, all this fuss. Sergeant, when you decided to arrest my client, when was it?
The beginning of April.
Oh, same day you got your information from this Broker George?
Yes.
Beginning of April, you say?
April 1st, to be exact.
Had it never dawned on you? That the 1st of April, All Fool's Day? April Fool?
What do you...
Never mind, Sergeant, that's all. Your Honor, I won't even ask the prosecution to produce this man.
Your Honor, the prosecution is entirely willing to produce him.
Counsel just said that won't be necessary.
But the defense has made certain implications.
Court will recess until 10 o'clock Monday morning. How can you eat like that? My stomach feels like somebody's been using it for a bowling alley.
I got 52 pair of shoes. You know why? Well, I'm in the orphanage. Never had a pair to fit me. With him, it's food.
You two go way back, huh? Way back.
Gentlemen, the wine is on the house.
May I help you?
I'm looking for Mr. Egan.
Corner booth.
Thank you.
Miss Wagner, would you join us?
Oh, no, thank you. Please sit down. I saw you come in. Mr. Egan, do you think we have a chance?
Well, I'd say the prosecution thinks so.
We have, haven't we? That's what I began to think in the courtroom. It was a little embarrassing, though. All those love-starved women.
Yes, your father seems to do something to their imagination.
Always. Ever since I can remember. Well, I don't want to interrupt your lunch.
Hearty appetite. Well, squab, wine. Oh, Barry, we're working the wrong side of the street. This is where the good living is, among the defenders of the damned.
Gentleman making the poor mouth is probably the richest deputy district attorney in the United States, as well as the most incorruptible.
Thank you.
Only he had a heart.
Heart? Oh, you mean, the sacred right guaranteed to us by the Constitution and defended for us on the field of battle by men like my client.
I believe Mr. Egan means the capacity for tears.
Oh, yes, tears, the wet stuff. H2O and sodium. Is that what you're going to use next?
Is that all tears mean to you, a chemical formula?
Tears, old man, are the weapons of the defense. The prosecution doesn't need them.
Mr. Pine, I propose a truce in a bargain.
Well, I'm always willing to listen.
Well, if you'll consent to modify the charge from first degree to manslaughter, I'll persuade Jackson to confess. He'll have to go through psychiatric examination while he's being processed for the penitentiary, and that's where he can be buttoned down and held indefinitely for mental care. Isn't that more decent and practical than executing him?
Decent? Maybe, but practical? No deal.
Oh, now, don't look at me as though I just drowned a bag of kittens. I can't play on both teams, you know that. Good year.
Teams. Sounds like we're in a ball game.
Speaking of games, look.
A real clinging type.
Like a python. Bob, what would happen if we suddenly reversed ourselves? If instead of just saying Jackson's not guilty, we began believing it?
Do you?
It'd make a whole new ball game.
You know, if I hadn't seen Fred Stuckey, I'd say that his wife's heart trouble wasn't eased any by his next-door neighbor. But then I have seen Fred Stuckey.
Maybe you should see more of Mrs. Stuckey, Bob. A lot more.
Where you been since court closed? I asked about you at the studio, but they said you never did check in.
My lawyer, my accountant, inheritance taxes. You know anything about inheritance taxes?
Nope. I never had that kind of luck. 2 husbands, but no luck.
You never did tell me how they died.
Well, didn't I never? Poison one. Killed the other with a hoe just as he was slipping away.
I'll bet you did it then.
Hey, what about that inheritance? The little old wife of yours really leave you all that money, or did she just gasp about having it and now she ain't?
You really like me.
What about that money?
She had it.
I like you.
You beautiful thing, you. I'm coming over.
Well, Jerry, you're not impressed? How about you, Nick? Me? The grand jury indicted Jackson. But you did have doubts. Yeah, but they don't outweigh the evidence. Nick, you had doubts. You mentioned them. That's right. I thought, what if this Jackson were hired to do it? Not really for the heist, but to get rid of a wife who was in the way. It's been done before.
Look, we all thought about it. We worked on it. We found out that it's a long jump from a man playing Love Thy Neighbor...
Well, I'm next door.
...to the same guy getting his wife knocked off.
I think you closed the investigation too soon.
That's your opinion.
Nick, this Kenny case, what's her job? She's a stunt woman in the movies. Now, I don't want to seem obvious, but stuntmen and women have a unique ability for crawling up and into difficult windows. Come on, Jerry, it works.
Oh, it works, yes. But it doesn't prove. Now, this film of yours was shot yesterday. A lot could have happened since Mrs. Stuckey died.
I can deliver on this.
Maybe. All right, what do you want from me?
Another crack at Stuckey, this time with a few rules suspended. Forget the word objection on Monday.
You want a license to steal?
That's right, but I need your help.
Barry Pine won't like it.
Mr. Stuckey, I fully understand the anguish of a bereaved husband. You must forgive me for putting you through this ordeal.
It's all right.
You, are anguished, aren't you?
Naturally.
Oh, let's not say naturally, Mr. Stuckey. Not all husbands are as devoted to their wives as you were to Mrs. Stuckey. How long had you been married, sir?
12 years.
And how long had she had this cardiac condition?
Oh, I don't know, 5 years, maybe 7.
You don't know?
7 years.
But Mr. Stuckey said his wife had this heart condition for only 7 years.
Well, nevertheless, I've been treating her for well over 10.
And her condition was serious all that time?
Serious, yes. Critical, no. Patients with such a condition can live out a normal span of life. The key word is caution.
Meaning no undue physical exertion, no emotional stress?
None whatever.
Well, that sounds like a perilous disease, Doctor. I can well imagine a man suddenly springing out at his enemy from ambush and deliberately frightening him to death. Or a husband doing the same thing to his wife, or a businessman to his partner. Murder without weapons, without even touching the victim. Could that be done, Doctor?
Well, I don't read detective fiction.
But we're discussing an actual case, Doctor. A woman whom the state contends was frightened to death, while Mr. Stuckey sat there along with 20 other witnesses and...
Objection. Sustained.
Mr. Pine?
No questions.
Dr. Wall, you've been very helpful. Thank you. You may step down. Your Honor, with your permission, I'd like to recall Mr. Fred Stuckey to the stand.
Mr. Stuckey.
Well, here we are again, Mr. Stuckey.
Look, I don't know what all this has to do with the church holdup, my wife dying there.
You think I'm wasting the court's time?
I don't think anything. I just want to get back to the studio and my job.
Are you pressed for time these days?
Yes, this is our busy season.
I imagine you don't want to lose any of it. Your wife's condition must have been a serious drain on your finances.
I didn't complain.
No insurance, I suppose.
Cardiac?
Well, that's too bad. Maybe you'll make it up through your wife's estate.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Big deal.
You know, Mr. Stuckey, what I cannot understand is how you could have forgotten the major problem for so many years. You testify that your wife suffered her heart condition for about 7 years. Well, Dr. Wall testified he'd been treating her for over 10.
I guess one of us was wrong.
But which one, Mr. Stuckey? The devoted husband or the prominent cardiologist?
Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Now, which one is on trial here? He was, I was,
Maybe
I don't know. I didn't even...
fed up, huh?
Yes.
A yoke around your neck.
No.
You just wouldn't die. Mr. Stuckey, were you aware of the things that frightened your wife?
Yes, of course I was.
And then there were times she was frightened.
What I meant was, now look, what I meant was that everybody gets frightened sometimes. There's a creak in the house, there's a branch against the window, a bad dream.
A bandit robbing a poor box, a bandit who pressed a gun against your wife's neck. And what did you then do, Mr. Stuckey? What did you say?
I said what I had to say. All that I could say. I said, don't leave her alone.
No, sir, you shouted, that's my wife. She's got a bad heart. That was the uppermost thing in your mind, was it not, Mr. Stookie?
Yes, it was.
A vulnerable heart. The heart that might be stopped so easily, but just wouldn't stop year after year. While you, Mr. Stookie, waited and waited and waited and...
Egan, has the state no objection?
Your Honor, please. It's the duty of the state to see to it that justice is served. I've spoken to counsel. I believe he holds the same view. We beg the court to be lenient about procedure.
You may continue.
I thank the state and Your Honor. That'll be all, Mr. Stookie. You can step down. One more question. A very small one, Mr. Stookie. I'm sure you won't mind answering it.
Yeah, what?
Why did you lie about the size of your wife's estate?
I don't remember telling any lies. I didn't want to bring that up in court. Things like that get around to the wrong people. Look, why shouldn't I inherit something, It's only paying me back. All the years of the money that I spent. She was always sick. The money... I never had a chance to save anything. Look, what about my privation, A man is still a man no matter how sick. The money, just money, that's all. I spent plenty of my own money. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I'm telling you, there were years of the money that No, I've got nothing to be ashamed of.
That will be all, Mr. Stookie. You may step down.
Now, look, Judge, this man made remarks about me. He made damaging remarks about me.
The witness has been excused.
Pretty good theory, all right. But it still doesn't prove that Jackson wasn't the bandit.
Run, little man. Run.
Where'll we go?
I don't much care where you go, Rabbit Man. I'm gonna go me someplace a whole lot healthier.
You don't care? What do you mean you don't care? You put me up to it. You had me so that my knees were bleeding from praying for her to die.
You prayed, Rabbit Man, but I done it. I got dressed up and I climbed in there and I done it.
What is the difference? We're partners.
You got any money?
All we'll ever need, her estate.
You ain't got it in your pockets. What you got in your pockets now?
That's what you got me into this for, wasn't it? Money. That's all you care about. Not me, just money.
You ever take a good look at yourself, Rabbit Man?
Shut up!
Oh, you are bad luck, Rabbit Man. Yes, you are real bad luck.
All right,
man.
go on. Go by yourself. I don't care because I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. But you're going to need me. You're going to need me real bad.
Well, y'all come to collect the garbage?
Over here.
Move over, please.
Well, Mr. Egan, thank you for the lift, and thank you for all your efforts on my behalf. Anything I can do at any time, please don't hesitate to call on me.
I won't, and good luck, Mr. Jackson.
We make our own luck, Mr. Egan. Oil company president friend of mine used to say that all the time. Bye.
Bye.